They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car, whip like Indiana Jones.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
To throw is Strebler.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
The Saints at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to a good start, but then 2 straight losses since.
And now you start to wonder about what this does for a team's morale, how it affects their psyche, because, let's face it, you work all summer pointing toward that opening game, you get the win, but then you don't carry it on from there. How will they bounce back from these losses and try and get right?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
To throw is Strebler.
That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara.
On the move past the 40. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A give to Kamara running right. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he is going to have a Saints first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Again, it's Kamara. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Kamara up the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. On play action, Cousins. On the move, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown, they got the stop, and now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here's Strebler. Short pass tip, but caught anyway. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Six nothing our score after 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing is Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's Strebler to throw. There's Chris Olave. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
The receiver factor at Ohio State turned out an NFL-ready deep threat this year in Olave, who New Orleans jumped up to get at number 11. The Saints learned last season they need another defense breaker in their receiver room to allow a little bit of space to throw underneath. Sub 4.4 speed and a history of turning deep routes into touchdowns made Chris Olave their guy, and he gets them the 1st down.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Strebler. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. We saw it too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Cook following the penalty. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for third. To throw is Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Toss wide side. This is Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
Strebler to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good. Not good indeed because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board. On 2nd down, Cousins again. Over the middle, complete. It's Cook. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. For the defense, they were all over that. As soon as that ball was in the air, it was dangerous. Not only was it intercepted, CD, but they return it for the touchdown.
Yeah, and he read that the entire way. He was reacting before other players had a chance to react themselves. Had the determination to say, this just won't be a pick. It's going to be 6 points as he takes it the other way to the end zone.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Now Cousins. And this one is incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
And this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Play fake. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
A first down throw for Cousins. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
They'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. Joseph's got it. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Now Cousins. This to C.J. Ham, the fullback. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it to slot receivers? But only guys can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Cousins. And this is incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down. I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is down to 2. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. Taking it about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. 56 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Well,
you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Strubler to throw on 1st down. On target over the middle to Hill. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now a 2nd down at 6. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. They run it again with Kamara. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
From the 35 on second down, Cousins got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. Cousins to throw it. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
On second down, Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Yeah, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Strebler. Pass incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Kamara trying the right side. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. From the gun is Strebler. Olave holds it in. And I think the ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And some room to maneuver. He's to the 10.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are. And now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Dalvin Cook so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through. So he might get another chance or two to punch this one in.
On second and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. He's going to get it again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings have scored again in this third quarter, this time to move out in front. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Cook. No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal? Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
A field goal gets them the lead, but they'll risk it here on fourth and goal. Running for it. Here's Cook. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. Cook turned away on fourth and goal. And as a result, they could have had the lead with a field goal. Instead, they turned the ball over on downs. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. 86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try to move forward.
From the gun on third down, here's Strebler. And incomplete on the deep ball.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Yeah, that'll cross midfield here, not by much. Out of bounds just on the other side of the 50. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Off
off the play fake. Cousins. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Cousins now. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Play action. Cousins. They'll roll him out right. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
This is a perfect example of what separates the elite quarterbacks. Has his man open, way too anxious, ends up firing it in there with way too much zip on it. The great ones, they know how to relax and put the appropriate velocity on the football.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Again, it's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that'll bring up fourth down.
A little extra pressure with this one for Greg Joseph.
This for a fourth quarter lead. The kick by Joseph is good, and they take the lead out in front at 13-12. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a second and short.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And this will wind up a Saints first down as they'll get this up to about the 42.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And some room to roam now.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Less than 2 minutes to play. Down to the wire we go in a one-point game. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And some room to work. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with career touchdown number 70. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. They'll look to throw. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Cousins completes this to Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. Here's Cousins. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Cousins to throw. That is caught by Thielen. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Joseph on for the extra point. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And, partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake, it's Strebler. It's complete. Kamara. And he will get to the sideline here, but that a minimal gain at best. 3 yards, possibly 4. It'll go as a gain of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Vikings pick up the football.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it? This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the 4th now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker. Just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Cook on the toss left. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something?
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So the Vikings going to get the first chance to possess the football as we are back underway here in overtime. Amir Smith-Marset now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Here's Cousins. Oh, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they went standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick six.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for New Orleans, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears.